Once you figure out how can you add value, you need to be sure what to sell. Instead of not being fired after you have been hired, if you do not do a great job at it, your clients wouldn't continue to work with you. Here's how you get your first freelance client. As you figured out from thumbnail, every influencer you see on YouTube lies to you, and they genuinely do not tell you what happens once you are in the project, what happens before you get the project, because you have different processes and different steps to go through. I've gone through those steps multiple times. That's why I think I could tell you the frameworks that have worked for me. So it's that simple, right? Someone tells you that you can find your first client on Upwork, it's a lie. Someone tells you that you can find your first client on Fiverr, it's a lie. Someone tells you you can find it on LinkedIn, it's a lie. You have to probably search for your first client everywhere. You have to check if your family, your close friends or family do have a requirement, and you can actually solve for that. So you have to first see what you could solve for, right? Instead of getting the first freelance client, you have to see what you can really solve for other people. So you need to make a list of things that you can actually do. You are a product in yourselves because your service actually solves for someone, right? And once you figure out how can you add value, now you need to repeatedly add value in different people's life, right? And where would you find these different people's? LinkedIn, email, Upwork, Fiverr, and you do not know who strikes you first, right? So here's the truth. There are 4 to 5 steps which you really need to do. First is you need to have like a really good profile picture, a really good description, so that you can build trust with the client when they see your profile. Second, you need to know that there would be a lot of competition, and to beat that competition, lowering your price wouldn't be enough. You really need to stand out with the profile picture, with the description. You need to make your entire portfolio in a way that it creates trust in the client. Also, the third thing is you really need to make sure that the client, whoever the client is, right, they should actually feel good about working with you even before they have sort of hired you. You get on the call, you cannot be a bad salesman, right? You really need to know your sales right. You need to be sure what to sell. And another thing is you cannot be too salesy. You have to ask the right sorts of questions so that you can help them. It's not about you, it's about them, right? You do not need to tell them, I've done XYZ, I've done XYZ, right? They would know that from your portfolio. You need to really add value by asking the right sort of questions. If you know their problem and you've invested a lot of time working and speaking with that client on their problem, they'd be probably happy with you, right? And your chances of not being fired after you have been hired is really less. And once you have been hired, you really need to make sure that you perform well. So there are 2 routes once you have been hired. First route, you basically understand all the requirements, and let's say the total requirement is the size of X. You can charge for that X amount of work. Second thing is you can charge on an hourly basis, and both have their disadvantages and advantages. But the most good thing for the client and for you is that they would test you on iterations. If you do not do a great job at it, your clients wouldn't continue to work with you. If you do a great job, then you find most of the work from that single client, and you also get repeat clients. You do not have to be again and again on Upwork finding newer clients every time. You would get most work from one client than you would do from anyone if you do a great job, right? Or you would lose the entire battle just finding clients, and you would put most of your time there. The game is about retention and not about acquisition. So you need to really make sure that you do a good job so that you retain the client, get more referrals, and acquire more in the process. Bye. अरे यार वीडियो ले रहे हैं मेरे साइड से. Do not perform well on the first or second iteration, they are probably going to tell you F off, right? थोड़ा better कर सकता हूँ ना इसको, like I should not use cuss words, right?
It's fine.
You should.
They use.
Not right.
As an agency.